Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter. Thanks for making us part of your day. We have a special guest in house today. At this time of the year, I felt it was appropriate time for having him on. He's Paul Arster, referred to as America's credit repairman. He is regularly seen on heard in local and network radio and TV, including CNN, NBC, Fox News, and stations in major markets across the country. Paul is the founder and CEO of National Credit Repair Management firm Better Qualified in New Jersey. Paul, good afternoon. Thanks so much for being here. Welcome to the program today.
Thanks for having me on, Kenford.
Sure. Thoughts on Black Friday, Paul? Has it lost its aura compared to years past? We see people camping, doing crazy things back in the day. Now it seems kind of watered down due to online shopping. What say you?
Yeah, so there's no doubt, and it's unfortunate because this holiday creep starts much sooner. Black Friday used to literally be the trigger day. Now it's the week before, a couple of weeks before. Like you're saying, you see deals on Amazon for Black Friday. They started 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and consumers have to be aware that that extended shopping season has been done for a reason. These are marketing geniuses, and they figured out if we extend these, I almost call it phony deals, right?
Yeah.
Because if you tracked the price of most items, you're not really getting that good of a deal. It's just the way it is. It's the nature of the business. So all of the big box stores, Costco, BJ's, they're all running these earlier deals. And again, it's for a reason. People tend to shop impulsively. So if they see something that seems to be a good deal, they might not want it, they might not need it, but they're going to buy it. So
Yeah.
that's the
Sure.
problem with this extended holiday shopping season.
What say you? Cyber Monday, is that a thing even still? The deals, are they good, not so good?
I think it's the same exact thing. It used to be people would go online for Cyber Monday. We're already online, right?
Yeah.
So the Cyber Monday, the deals on the internet, shopping online, it's almost 24/7. So I think both Black Friday and Cyber Monday have definitely been watered down, and not for a good reason.
Yeah. Sure. What are some of the underrated Black Friday strategies people tend to overlook?
Well, I say you have to start with a firm spending cap, right?
Okay.
Again, you can't just approach this by saying, I have a list. It should be a gift strategy, not a gift list. You come up with a strategy, and it has to start with that spending cap, especially in today's environment. Nobody knows what's going to happen in 2026. When you talk about health insurance premiums, when you talk about how stubborn inflation has been, we might even hit what's called stagflation with a bad jobs market. So people have to be really, really careful this holiday season. And I've already heard numerous times, Paul, we've been here before, we get through it. We haven't been here before. This is a completely different pathway than we've ever seen with what's going on, globally, macroeconomics, tariffs. Again, all of these things put together trickle down on us. And we can no longer just use fuzzy mental math. You have to have a formula beforehand, right? This is the most important time because it's never been truer. Failing to plan here is planning to fail. And you're going to wake up with a hangover like you've never had before. And it's not from drinking too much champagne, it's from spending too much money. And with today's interest rates on credit cards, most people are at 30% interest rates on their credit cards.
Wow.
And if you wake up, if you spend $100 on a gift and you don't pay it off within a month or two, it's not $100 anymore. It could be 115, 120. It
Yeah.
just keeps going up. Think about this for 1 second, and hopefully this, is a great takeaway for your listeners and watchers. The average credit card debt is over $6,000 right now. If you only made the minimum payment on a $6,000 credit card balance, it could take you 20 years to pay that off, and you're going to wind up paying close to $20,000
Yeah.
for a $6,000 credit card balance. So we cannot feel obligated to do the same things that we've always done, buying gifts for an enormous amount of people, buying gifts for people in your office, coworkers, family, friends. When does it stop? So think about the gifts that people gave you last year, or ask somebody, hey, do you remember what I gave you last year? The odds are they're not going to remember it.
No idea.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So don't feel like you're going to get cut out of the family circle. You're going to get, ostracized by your friends. It's just not going to happen. And if you did it collectively and you said, hey, you know what? Why don't we do something different this year? Why don't we plan a trip next spring so you can defer the expense, and you put a memory on the books as opposed to just buying something again for what they may need or not need.
Yeah. It's a very good point. Shoppers, impulse buying, you said, right? Buying
Yep.
everything on the website, screaming sale, sale, sale. These guys, like you said, the marketing, they're geniuses. Sale, is it really a sale sometimes? You got to dig deep, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, there's lots of softwares and apps and things out there that you can actually track the price of certain things.
Yeah.
So look back. Is it really 30% off, or did the price tick up right before the holidays? So they give you 30% off, but it's the same darn price as it was back in June or July.
For sure.
So there are apps and softwares out there that you can track this stuff. Look, and it's not too late, right? If you haven't put this budget into place, if you haven't come up with your spending cap, do it before Friday. Don't wait until it's too late, and
Right.
then start to try and figure out, do I really have enough money to even make it through the end of the year? A lot of people live in a crisis mode every 30 days, and you don't have to do that. There was a great book that I read a couple of years ago, and it's called "You're Broke Because You Want to Be,"
Yeah.
right? So we're very habitual, and it's hard to change our habits. But if you don't change your habit, if you continue to do the same thing over and over and
Same
expect
result.
different results, I think Freud said it best, that makes you insane, right?
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so let's start changing our behaviors and do it now. If you've never put a household budget together, do it.
Yeah.
Most people are surprised when they do that. And again, lots of free softwares out there. I don't care if you do it with a pen and a paper, but we're basically all on a fixed income. You can figure out the average of your income over the past couple of years, divide that by 12. That's how much money's coming in to your house and how much money's going out. And again, people are very shocked if you use an expense analyzer. If you're stopping at the convenience stores are killers. There's the opposite, right? They're 30% higher in every single thing that you buy. Is it convenient? Are you saving time? Yes. But if you do it on a regular basis, the $3 coffee, the bagel, the stuff again that you may or may not need every
Yeah.
single day on your way to work and on your way back from work.
It adds up.
Those things add up over time.
Yeah.
We've become a nation of subscriptions. Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, Roblox, Xbox, PS, all this stuff, especially if you have children.
Yeah.
The average household, again, about $200 in subscriptions every month. So start to cut those subscriptions, figure out where your money is going, where it's coming from. And again, I don't want to say it's easy, but
Yeah.
it's not complicated to figure out that household budget.
I saw this a couple of days ago. An average grocery cost for a family of four is $1,030 a month. Can we get 1999 back? Like, this is insane, man.
It is. So again, most of that is poor planning. People
Okay.
pick up things. They're buying single-use items. They're buying things. They're not buying things in bulk. If you got together with someone else in your family, a neighbor, and bought things in bulk, you will start to save a tremendous amount of money. Look at the unit price, not just the price that you're buying. How much is it per pound? How much is it per ounce? How much is it, a roll of paper towels? And again, the big box stores are not always your best bet.
Right.
So now is the time to shop around. If you've never used coupons, I used to laugh, right? Oh, my mom would
So
cut them
did
out.
I. Yeah.
But let me tell
Whole
you,
stack of coupons, right? You're like, what is this? When you're younger, you
and
tend to laugh. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if you figure out what you need, again, not what you want. What do I
Right.
need? I need some protein, I need some fruits, some vegetables, some grains. Figure out what you need and then shop using coupons. The same grocery store 10 miles down the road could save you a tremendous amount of money based upon what they're offering. So I can't stress it enough. Now is the time, to shop around, especially for groceries. And look, there's a list of items that have increased exponentially. Beef is through the roof right now.
Expensive, yeah.
We all heard about the egg phenomenon. But so maybe it's the time right now to cut back on beef. Buy
Yeah.
turkey, pork, go vegan a couple of days a week. Don't eat any meat.
Yeah.
Give your family an option and a choice, and you might like it, right? I'm
Yeah.
not saying you have to do it for the rest of your life, but certainly right now, why these prices are just out of control, you either cut back or eliminate buying those types of products.
That's well said. How important, you said budget, right? When it comes to shopping at this time of the year, trying to impress a loved one, is it hard, difficult? You gotta buy the girlfriend or a family member or somebody in your family you love. How hard is it to like scale back and say, you know what, I gotta put me before them this time of the year?
So our lives are so hectic and frenetic that sometimes it's a last minute decision. You run to the mall and you're saying, you know what? I better spend a couple $100. I better spend $500. We've been
Yeah.
together for a couple of years. It's my wife.
Yeah.
Kids are definitely the worst. And let me just say, for parents that are out there, you can save yourself 30 to 50% by doing the 3 gift rule. Okay, the 3 gift rule for kids, and this is where our focus is, or certainly should be. But it's something that they want. What do they actually want? What do they need? And then something that maybe they read or experience. You take them to a museum, you create a memory. So use the 3 gift rule. It's been proven out now over time. You're going to save yourself 30 to 50% rather than just going to the store or going online and grabbing stuff that you think they're gonna love, right?
Yeah.
Ask them, what do you want, right? What do you do? Some of we don't even we spend very little time with them. They're at school. They're doing all their activities.
Homework.
What
Yeah.
is it that you want? Or something that they need? Oh, mom, dad, I need this.
Yeah.
And that's a really important factor. So use that 3 gift rule. And if you're buying for a loved one, a family member, a friend, again, start to take the time to figure out what it is that they actually love to do, right? So just spending a lot of money doesn't always, again, equal something that is going to be meaningful for them. If they like to fish, plan a fishing trip. If they
Yeah.
like to camp, plan a camping trip. Maybe you do a getaway. You and your friend, you go and you take a road trip somewhere for a day. The staycation is a huge part, or should be a huge part of this holiday when you're planning things. Again, create memories. Things that we buy, gifts, they get lost in the sauce very, very quickly.
Sure. So a couple things here, right? Set a total spend number, not a per gift budget. Make a list before shopping. I used to look at shopping lists like, I don't know. Now I'm writing things down now, right? Shopping list, right? What you plan to buy, what you're going to
Yep.
buy, the max price. This kind of like prevents impulse buying, right? That list.
Yeah, and you have to stick with it. So
Yeah.
use one credit or debit card. It should definitely be a debit card. We should not be increasing our credit card balances. And once you set that money, so the biggest mistake people will make is they come up with a list,
Yeah.
the person list, then they come up with the gifts, and then they figure out how much is that going to cost me. It should be the exact opposite.
Right.
I have $300 to spend this holiday season. Now I'm going to break it apart. I need $150 for my kids. I need $50 for my significant other. I need $50 for this and $50 for that. If you do it any other way, what happens is, and especially if you have a family and they have their own credit cards or debit cards or these other accounts that can now be set up for teenagers, and at the end of it, we say, wait a second, we spent how much money on gifts and holiday season? And let's not forget about travel and all of these hidden expenses. There are more parties. There are more get-togethers. These are things, even seasonal snacks. It's crazy. But if you walk through any of the grocery stores, there's all sorts of you know gift
Items,
boxes.
gift boxes. Yeah.
Gift boxes, a Christmas gift box that has some jams and jellies but do you really need that?
Yeah.
No, you
No.
don't. So it
Yeah.
just looks good. It's got a little bow on it. So start with the list, but start with how much money your spending cap is first, then who's going to get that money, then figure out, all right, if I have $10, what can I buy Joe from the office? What can I buy my brother, my sister, or your significant other?
Sure. Is cash still king though in this day and age? It seems like no one has cash on them anymore, right? Like it's just like swipe a card or you're in your wallet, your Zoom, you're gone, you're going. Is cash still king in your opinion?
100%. So
Okay.
again, the credit card industry actually put fear into us and said you should not carry cash, you could get
Yeah.
mugged, you can get robbed. It doesn't really happen, right? What they wanted us to do was to become so reliant on credit cards that we can't leave home without it, right?
Yeah.
So there's a reason why that slogan. And now you have tap to pay. I just did
Yeah.
a whole thing on ghost tapping, where if you're using your phone, if you have a digital wallet that's set up, it is very, very easy for someone to steal that digital footprint and use it on a ghost phone. And they're racking up literally millions and millions of dollars in these point of sale transactions by
Wow.
just tapping this ghost phone that now contains your digital wallet. So
Wow.
if you set the digital wallet up and you thought you were going to use it, but you're not using it on a regular basis,
Yeah.
eliminate it. Take the cards out of there because they're going to either steal. Another thing that I used to laugh at were these RFID blocking wallets and sleeves. I'm like, who's going to walk by me and
Right.
steal my? It happens, and now it's happening more and more.
Right.
If you tap to pay in a crowded market or a street vendor, you might just by tapping, you think you're paying, but what you're actually doing is transferring the information from your digital wallet into that kiosk. So you
Wow.
have to be careful. If you don't know who the merchant is, if you're not familiar with them, take out cash and pay
Yeah.
cash, or go back to swiping and inserting your cards. We've given up a tremendous amount of our security for convenience, and we have to hold ourselves responsible and accountable for doing that.
Sure. Thoughts on the end of manufacturing pennies, right? No more pennies. It's over. It's gone. One of my friends, we stacked up this much bunch of pennies so we have it for a long period of time. What say you? You're a fan of this thing or not so much?
I can understand why they did it.
Okay.
It's gonna pose a problem for certain merchants because they've been included in the way they price things out. So if
Right.
it's 99 cents,
Round it up.
they're gonna round up, right? No one's gonna go back to 95 cents.
Right.
So and believe it or not, even if it's just a penny,
Yeah.
when you add up those transactions over, let's call it, a year, it's going to have some type of an impact on how much money we're spending.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with it. I understand why they did it. It costs more to manufacture them than it does, the actual value of the penny. But maybe they could have come up with another way, manufacture it in a way that was more cost efficient, and they could have left it as part of our commerce.
Sure. Use price trackers to spot fake deals, right? Amazon, Google shopping price history. Many deals are just inflated, then discounted. What say you?
So again, ChatGPT, love it or hate it. You can literally ask what the average price for certain items are, and this is geographical also. So I'm in New Jersey, you're in New York. If
Yeah.
I'm in New York, the odds are I'm probably going to spend a little bit more money if
Yeah.
I'm shopping out of state.
Yeah.
So be careful about those pitfalls because again, geographically, it's going to have an impact on the price you pay and using price trackers and things like that so you don't fall victim to, oh, this is a deal, it's 30, is it really 30% off? 30%
Right.
off of what? The
Yeah.
lowest price that it's been over the past 12 months. And look, if you're looking for the hottest items out there, and this happens every year, This is the gift, right? Everybody's looking for certain items. That's demand. And that's going to drive the price up for that also. So if there's any way possible to delay the purchase, right? So you could tell somebody, look, I know this is what you want. I know you've been looking forward to this, and we're going to get it,
Yeah.
right? Just not right now. So
Sure. It
it's
takes
going to
time.
come. It's going to come after the first of the year.
Sure.
What is crazy is what happens right after the holidays. There are significant drops in prices
Yeah.
for certain items. So we're all stuck on these calendar dates and days, and I get it. If you got little ones and they still believe, in certain things, then you got to stick to that. But
Sure.
there's nothing wrong with buying them a gift in January,
Yeah.
and you might pay 30, 50% less. And look, they're still going to light up. They're still going to smile. They're still going to love it. If you give it to them a month
Later.
after the holidays, they're still going to enjoy that same gift.
Sure. Use store pickup to avoid extra fees. Is that a thing?
It's a real thing. So
Okay.
again, it goes back to the impulse buying. The studies have shown people save a tremendous amount of money because you start with what you need, what you want,
Right.
and you go through and you order these items. And what happens is, and I'm guilty, right? I just went to Costco today,
Yeah.
and I probably picked up a couple of things that I wasn't planning on buying.
Right.
But something caught my eye,
Yeah.
something, made me say, "Oh, you know what? Let me just get that while I'm here."
Right.
But
Right. Right.
if you do it the other way and you do these curbside pickups, you have deliveries, whatever the fees are that are included in that, it's been proven you're going to save yourself that much more money by not being subjected to the impulse buy.
Stick to the rule. If it's not on the list, it's not in the cart.
That's the number one rule. Again, even with groceries, right? And
Right.
this may sound crazy, but how much money are you going to spend on groceries before you go,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Shop your pantry. There are people that have pantries that are filled with stuff that they bought and they've
Right.
never used. So why did you
Right.
buy it in the first place?
Yeah.
And why haven't you used it?
Yeah.
So don't let it expire. Don't let it go bad.
Yeah.
Shop your pantry. Maybe this is the perfect time of the year. Go through the stuff in your freezer, right?
Yeah.
We saved something, we put it in the freezer, and how long has it been sitting in there?
Sitting there for a long time.
So
You start
before
gutting
you,
stuff out. You're like, this is expired. This is old. Throw it out. Yeah.
so before you go out and spend money that you don't have or you shouldn't be spending, shop your pantry and then start from there.
Consider DIY or low cost gifts. Thoughtful, personal, budget friendly gifts. Photo books, recipe jars, handwritten letters, custom playlists, frame photos, right? Simple but effective, creating memories.
Yeah, and photos are a big one.
Yeah.
Go through your photos on your phone or on your devices, old photo books. If it's your best friend, I'm sure you have photos maybe from years and years and years ago, and they
Sure.
haven't seen that photo in
In
a
a long
long time.
time. Yeah.
So you put it
Yeah.
together in a little collage, something like that. Shows them that you were thinking about them. You didn't just spend a couple of bucks on some tchotchke thing
Yeah.
that they may or may not want.
Right.
So do it yourself is huge. We say this all of the time, every single year. But so we've been doing this. I started this company a little over 20 years ago, and we've been saying it since day one. But again, this year is very, very different. This is the year
Yeah.
that if you can save any amount of money by making something for someone that you care about, they're gonna love it that much more. They may even remember the gift that you gave them
Yeah.
next year, as opposed to just spending money because you feel obligated to do that, right?
Sure.
Set the reasonable expectations with your friends and family. Again, nobody is going to, throw you out of the
Yeah.
pack because
Yeah.
you didn't spend money on them this year.
Sure. If they value your friendship and longevity and how long you've known them, the simplest thing, they should be happy and feel like $1 million, right? If they really care about you.
Yep. Give your time. right? So we can do things again, making somebody a homemade pie or cake, making them some your favorite dish or their favorite dish. Offer to babysit their kids or to watch their dogs if they go on vacation as opposed to dropping them at the kennel.
Yeah.
Um, Personalized notes, any experiences. Let's do a movie night, right?
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
something like that together, and we create these memories as opposed to just buying them something.
He's Paul Auster, referred to as America's credit repairman. Quick one-liners here, Paul. Order early, budget smart, and don't let shipping ruin your holiday cheer.
Yeah. So especially if you get caught, late in the game,
Yeah.
now you're paying even more to have express shipping and
Day
stuff like
before,
that.
2 days before, you want it like to be on that front porch or your step, right? You got to
Yeah.
pay
So
25
start
bucks.
start this early for sure.
Yeah.
Track your expenses in real time. Use one debit card preferably or credit card. Use one and one card only, or
Right.
take out the cash. Use the envelope system. When it's gone, it's gone. You don't
Yeah.
just buy gift cards, right? And use your own gift cards. And when the money's gone on those gift cards, it's done. But if
That's it.
you have to track this in real time, you cannot wait until January or February to start getting the credit card statements or going online and saying, "Oh, I cannot believe how much money I spent."
It's too late.
Uh, and it's not just the gifts. Again, what we talked about was this is the time people travel more. It could just be more gas that you're spending driving around. You're going to see friends and family, all over the place.
Yeah.
Again, holiday meals tend to cost a little bit more. Going out for a couple of drinks costs a little bit more.
More. Yeah.
So it's all those hidden expenses. Any travel, if you have to get on a plane, a train, or a bus,
Yeah.
those are just added expenses that we tend to forget about during the holiday season.
Digital gifts save time, money, and stress. What say you?
Yep. Again, it's either the kiss of death or a blessing,
Yeah.
but digital gifts, again, especially for the young ones, that's what they want, right? That's what they're
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
for. So don't look a gift horse in the mouth, pun intended.
Yeah.
And if that's what makes the most amount of sense, and you can get the best deal,
Yeah.
then go for it.
Sure. Tracking prices, right? Black Friday, fake deals, and all these things going on. How important is for you to track these things, like leading up months, September, October, then November? Just track them as they go along, right?
Yeah, so fortunately, you could start today. You could
Yeah.
ask what the average price of a certain item has been over the past 6 months, and you'll get a pretty good answer. The problem becomes again where we think Friday has to be the day. Where
Yeah.
people have a routine now. They're
Yeah.
ready to go. They're rip raring starting Thursday night. They're getting
Yeah.
ready for Black Friday. So whether or
Right.
not they jump in the car and go to the store or they're doing it online, but why Friday?
Yeah.
Why,
Yes.
it becomes this pressure, and you might want to wait a day or two, wait a week or two. Again, track the pricing, or you come up with a different strategy,
Yeah.
and maybe that's not the gift that you should be buying in the first place. So don't get caught up in that 24-hour craziness where you have to spend a certain amount of money. You have to buy as much gifts as you possibly can during that crammed in time,
Right.
whether you like it or not, or is it the best deal? So don't fall victim to that pressure cooker for Black Friday.
Well said. Before I let you go, last time you overspent for an item, but it was so worth it.
Let me see. It was probably a golf club, I would assume for
Okay.
me.
Okay.
um, but again, look, I'm not the Black Death. I don't want to say that you can't spend money, but you have to have a budget, and you have to figure out, can I actually afford this, or is there a better way that I could go about doing the same thing?
Right.
Look at the marketplaces. Look at the secondhand online stores. That again, this is a good thing,
Yeah.
right? So you go on Facebook Marketplace. What do I need? I need a heater on my patio for when people come over and we have an extra space where we can hang out. But
Yeah.
if it's cold, if you go to the store, you're paying $300. You go on Facebook Marketplace, excellent condition. Somebody bought it for a party. They don't need it. They used it twice.
Right. Right.
And you can get it for $100.
$100. Yeah.
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 So use those options, right? Because these are good options, and people don't care again if it's
Right.
secondhand, if it's still in great shape.
As long as it
What's the
works.
difference? It works
Yeah.
perfectly, and you saved yourself a couple of bucks in doing it that way.
Best deal you ever got? Your bang for your buck was?
Best deal I ever got.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a great question. How about you? What was the best deal you ever got?
Speaking of that thing, the Facebook Marketplace, I needed a washer and dryer. So I went on Facebook Marketplace and I got a U-Haul. I took my buddy up there, went like in Connecticut, got a washer and dryer for like $300.
Yeah.
Still in great condition today,
There you go. So
Yeah, yeah,
anything like that, again, where we can save a couple of bucks if things work perfectly,
yeah,
that was a great deal, by the way.
yeah. That was a good one. What's your favorite time of the year, by the way? Is it this time of the year, summer, fall, spring? What say you?
I would say one of my favorite holidays is Thanksgiving.
Okay,
There's just that much less pressure than the actual Christmas or Hanukkah or the end of the year drama.
yeah,
So we do Friendsgiving every year,
okay,
which is an awesome thing for us. And Thanksgiving, it just seems to be one of those things where people get together just to get together,
right,
whether it's family or friends, and everybody seems to be in just a little bit better mood.
mood. Yeah,
The vibe is always good.
right,
And look, holidays are tough. Christmas is tough for some people for whatever reason, whether they can't afford it or, they lost loved ones along the way. It definitely has an emotional impact on a lot of people. So I think Thanksgiving is just a little bit easier for everybody to get together and enjoy it.
sure. What's the one advice you would tell shoppers around this time of the year? The one basic, true 101 advice you would give shoppers this time of the year?
Again, understand what you're getting into, right? So especially, and we didn't even touch about these
Yeah,
buy now pay later plans. Most of them are not even included in people's thought processes when they should be. It's too easy to get approved for these, and it does make sense for some people if you could just make 4 payments, interest-free payments.
you break them
um,
down. Yeah,
Right, but then you say, why am I going on a payment plan in the first place? Because if you do not fulfill that obligation, you get hit with deferred interest, you get hit with penalties, and then it wasn't such a good idea. And
right,
that's what happens to a lot of people. The other thing with these plans is the impact on people's credit because they're opening up a bunch of new accounts
yeah,
and they're now getting reported on our credit reports. A lot of people don't know that. So buy now, pay later plans are now included on our reports, just like opening up a new credit card. And if you have too many new open active accounts, it's really a 6-month rule is you should only open one account every 6 months. If you
okay,
do more than that, the FICO scoring model gets nervous and you could start to actually lose points from your credit score,
right,
even if you're paying those bills on time. But you opened up too many in a short period of time. It affects your overall credit history and it has a negative impact on your scores. Our credit scores are going to cost or save us money for every single financial transaction. So be careful of the pitfalls of buy now, pay later programs.
right.
And again, the biggest tip, the biggest takeaway I would have for shoppers coming into this holiday season is know before you go.
Yeah,
Know how much money you can actually afford. And you know what? If it's zero,
yeah,
it's zero. It's
yeah. That's
okay.
it. It's
You're
okay.
going to be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
If it's
yeah,
$100, it's
yeah.
$100. But what you don't want to do is overspend for things and people that, again, it's not going to make or break the relationship. And if it does,
Yeah,
then maybe you weren't in the right relationship in the first place.
sure. Hey, this was a lot of fun, Paul. Pleasure having you on today's show. Anything you'd like to plug in on today's show? Listeners can keep in touch with you going forward, get their credit, any advice from you? You want to throw anything out there for the listeners today?
Yeah, just, again, my name is Paul Oster. I'm a certified FICO pro. I'm the founder and president of Better Qualified, which we started about 20 years ago. We've literally helped thousands of people improve, build, manage, and monitor their credit so they can save money, whether it's insurance premiums now directly tied to our credit, but certainly on mortgages, buying a car, credit cards. Again, your credit score is going to cost or save you money every single day. And it's not easy to be in the 700 club. And it's easy to miss payments. It's easy, to get collections or medical collections are now back on people's credit reports. Unfortunately, we're seeing a tremendous increase in clients that are coming to us, and they said, Paul, this just popped back onto my credit report, and it cost me 50 points. And then we have to try and deal with it. But the thing that you don't want to do when it comes to credit or debt is to bury your head in the sand. It's not just going to get better. It's something that you have to tackle head on.
Yeah.
It should be a priority for every single person. We have a great credit card debt elimination plan that we just give to clients. You don't have to pay me for it.
Right.
But debt stacking, making micro payments, there are ways to get out of credit card debt, and it should be the number one priority. Don't wait for the new year. Don't wait for after the holiday spending. Start that elimination now, and part of the debt elimination is not spending any more money.
Yeah. Smart. It's simple, right? But people think it's, oh my God, it's so difficult, it's so hard. Just
No,
don't
it's
spend.
it's not easy, but it's not
Yeah.
complicated.
Sure.
Fortunately, it's mathematically, it's a formula, and it's driven, it's proven. The good news is getting out of debt becomes easier and easier once you take the first step. Like getting into debt was easy.
Right. Getting out of
Fortunately,
it.
getting out of debt, it accelerates itself. More and more money is going towards the principal balance. But the thing not to do is to kind of just let it sit there.
Sure. Hey, happy holidays, Paul. Thanks for joining us today. Pleasure.
Thanks for having me
Um,
on, Kenford.
Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll do this again, man. I'm interested in this
I'd appreciate it. I'll be back on whenever you like.
for sure. He's Paul. I'm Kenford. We are out. Hey, that was awesome.